Welcome, everyone, on an irradiant Saturday afternoon here in First Bank Stadium in Nashville. I'm Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones and Quint Kessenich down to the field. Vanderbilt at 8-2, looking to win out to maintain potentially its hopes of making it to the college football playoff, taking on Kentucky, who suddenly come alive, winners of 3 consecutive games. It's the Commodores on their opening drive of the football game. Diego Pavia takes it down on the option to the 25. He picks up 5. Rayner and Olds making the tackle for the Wildcats.
Vanderbilt's put together a nice first drive. It's been a mixture of the run game, mostly the pass game, though. Diego Pavia converting on a couple of third downs. We've already seen a little bit of the Pavia magic. Hasn't gone full magic yet, but Clark Lee certainly pleased with the way this offense is going so far early in this one.
Pavia, one of the most compelling figures in all of college football. Former 0-star recruit coming out of high school. Looking at 2nd and 6. Keeps it himself, and he's brought down at about the 22-yard line by Rayner. Well, the Commodores are going to be scoreboard watching. Miami tacks on a late touchdown to win it 34-17. But, Roddy, they need some help, even if they do win out, right?
They do. The thought that a 10-2 SEC team could be left out of the college football playoff at the end of the season was unfathomable at the beginning of the year. But that's what Vanderbilt's staring down the barrel of, sitting there at 8-2 right now, but number 14 in the CFP rankings. So they're going to need to be watching what happens in that Oregon-USC game. And they need BYU and Utah to lose likely down the stretch to get up to what looks like you're going to need to get to number 10.
Facing a 3rd and 3, Pavia on a predetermined quarterback run gets back to the line of scrimmage, but short of the first down. Sets up 4th down and 3.
4th down for Vanderbilt.
I wonder if Vanderbilt will go for it. The offense staying on the field. It's interesting. We were talking to offensive coordinator Tim Beck about it yesterday. We were asking, why are the numbers on 3rd and short not as good as 3rd and mediums? He said a lot of the times we just sort of run the ball on 3rd and short to try and get the first down up the middle because we're going to go for it on 4th. This is one of those situations. They like to move Diego Pavia out of the pocket in these situations and always look for Eli Stowers, who lines up to the top of the screen.
There he is, number 9. 4th down. Pavia pulls. It's caught right near the marker. Let's see where they spot it. Wow. It is right at the approximation line that we use, and they're going to give the Commodores the first down. Eli Stowers with a nice catch here.
This is a tight end lined up against a corner, albeit a big corner, and Grant Grayton just creates a little bit of separation and is able to get the first down by what seemed like the narrowest of margins.
From the 19. 3 tight ends in the football game now for the Commodores. Fisher, Spence, and Stowers. Pavia on the quarterback draw, keeps it down to the 16-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Quint.
Well, today in Nashville, they're celebrating a transformational senior class of visionaries led by quarterback Diego Pavia. This guy, they said he was too short. They said he was too cocky. An unknown in Nashville prior to his arrival, and he's become a national star, taking center stage. Why? Competitive excellence, charisma. He's a connector amongst teammates, toughness, and grit. He has been the catalyst for change who has elevated this program.
One of the greatest stories in college football this year. Direct snap on the Wildcat. Some trickery. Pavia, well read by the Wildcats defensively. And now he's using his improvisational skills. The pass is caught at the 10-yard line by Sherrill. Roddy, there were a lot of moving parts on that play, man.
Yeah, well, it started with Cedric Alexander as the quarterback. He didn't even catch the snap. It bobbled the snap. Yeah. Diego Pavia catches it. There's a fake reverse there. And then it just becomes backyard football. And honestly, that's when Diego Pavia really separates himself.
All right.
An eligible receiver downfield. Number 55, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down. The previous play is under further review.
Right, so they're going to review the previous play, and while we do that,
Correction, no review.
we're going to take a break.
2nd down.
They're going to look at this. Oh, they're not going to review, we are told now. On the catch, and we're going to stay right here. Let's bring in Jerry McGinn, our rules analyst. Jerry, tell us procedurally what's happening right now.
So the ruling on the field was originally a catch, but the foul was ineligible receiver downfield. So then that wipes out the catch, and it's going to 5-yard penalty. So that's why there's no
Game
review.
clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah, so
2 minutes, 15.
They get number 55,
The clock
Bryce
will start on my
Henderson,
ready for
on the
play
penalty.
signal.
Can't tell exactly where he is, but with the scramble drill going on, I mean, there's offensive linemen downfield here. You got a couple over here. So that's where I think they're going to get, or that's obviously where they got the penalty from, but the catch, no catch doesn't matter.
They fake the jet sweep, setting up the screen. Complete to Stowers, but nowhere to go. Well read by Grant Godfrey. He's going to set up a long third down now for the Commodores inside the red zone. No gain on that play. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first.
This is a secondary for Kentucky that's really banged up at the corner position, at the safety position. I mean, they are really thin there and having to play some guys out of position. But so far, this secondary has held up well, where the last few times out in SEC play against, they have had some issues at times. They did a nice job against Florida, nice job against Tennessee Tech. Tennessee was really able to take advantage out in space against his defense.
Looking at third down and 12. Pavia on the play fake into the end zone. Got a man. Incomplete, intended for Hudson. Knocked away at the last moment. And that was extremely close.
Grant Great in the corner, one of those guys that's filling in, the true freshman. It's naturally a safety, but that was close. Trent Hudson had it drop in the bucket, had a chance to catch it. But Grant Grayton recovering and being right there probably threw him off just a little bit. It falls incomplete.
Roddy, Kentucky has those long corners, both of them at 6'3". Might have helped a little bit on that play. This is Brock Taylor coming in to attempt the field goal from 39 yards out. On the season, he's 9 of 10, and he gives the Commodores a 3-point advantage with 1:05 to go in this opening quarter. Coach Clark Lee said that he has enjoyed the beauty in the struggle, getting trounced in years 1 and 3, and here they are now at 8 and 2, looking for their 9th win of the season. Back after this.
The polar vortex is bringing a lot of snow.
Just be safe getting home.
This storm will be here through the night, as will I.
The December to Remember sales event. Get offers on select models.
Hey, Johnny?
Yep, been saving where I can. Even switched to this detergent. Seems like a pretty good deal.
Well, if you want the real deal, you should get Tide.
Really?
Yep, that stuff over there, it's so watered down, it doesn't clean as well. Tide cleans the stuff that others miss. So, clothes look cleaner, not dingy, and they smell great too. Trust me, it's worth it. Can we help you?
You already did. I'll take Tide.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Boosted. Bitter rivals face off in a Black Friday triple header.
We have all waited for this.
The playoff is in sight Friday on ABC.
You're watching ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. Folks, this is the SEC on ESPN. Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, Quint Kessenich down to the field here on Senior Day at First Bank Stadium. An intimate 35,000 people on hand here for the 35 seniors on Senior Day. Commodores leading 3-0 after that field goal a moment ago. And Kentucky will have the football for the second time this afternoon. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. This on the heels of that 14-play scoring drive by the Commodores. Special times, heartfelt and poignant moments for the last time for that group.
3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
On the 12th day of winter, the Jeep brand gave to me 12 switchbacks winding, 11 rubber duckies, 10-inch touchscreen, 9 pine tree sparkling, 8 decades going, 7 slots of shining, skipping a few, 3 rows of seating, 2 finger waves, and only one.
Jeep. There's only one.
Right now, during the Jeep Black Friday sales event, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S gas model for $359 a month, or purchase and get no monthly payments for 90 days.
So hear the drums drumming, all your friends humming. Yeah, it's a good time coming. Everything you wanted, it's right here, y'all. Everything you needed, it's right here, y'all. We got the tunes bumping, got the kids jumping. Yeah, it's a good time coming.
When two people love each other very much, right? Okay. Imagine me and your mom. Don't do that. Imagine a magic hug that animals do.
Hey, Chris, you're out. Huntley, you're in.
Tyler Huntley, backup parent.
If only there were backups in real life.
What's up, little man? When two people love each other.
But at least there's Progressive to protect your home and auto.
Wow, I feel really prepared for life now.
There's flying, and then there's making the most of it with Platinum. There's nothing like arriving early and enjoying it. Nothing like having tea across the pond, a cocktail in Atlanta, and a tranquil place to work in Tokyo, all waiting for you. Nothing like best-in-class cuisine and service to match worldwide, with access to the largest global airport lounge network. There's nothing like Platinum.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
Some of the images on a heartfelt senior day. 35 Vanderbilt players walking today, and Diego Pavia, the former zero-star recruit coming out of high school, was offered a half scholarship at Northern Colorado as a wrestler. His heart was into football. Ended up going to New Mexico Military Institute, starting third on the 2 deep. Underneath, that's Cutter Boley completing the pass to Hardly Gilmore, the 4th. Let's take a look at Chili's 3 impact players.
You look at Kentucky offensively. It starts with the two running backs, Dante Dowdell and Seth McGowan, almost 1,200 yards between the two of them this season. Can they run the ball to take some pressure off Cutter Boley? Trying to stop that run's going to be Langston Patterson on the defensive side of the football. What a pleasure to catch up with him yesterday. He's going to be big for this Vandy defense.
The self-proclaimed leader in a team of misfits, they like to refer to themselves as. Boley tried to hit Fontenette with some sauce, but he wasn't buying.
Did get positive yardage out of it, though. The corner blitz, and Raiden Fontenette did a nice job of breaking down. Kentucky bringing in some big personnel for this one. Some more beef as Vanderbilt tries to match. Looks like they're going to try and power this thing on a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, 4 seconds to go in the quarter. Might not get this play off. That's going to be the end of the first 15 minutes of play, with the Commodores leading 3-0. Trying to stand on business today and keep their college football playoff hopes alive. Here in the Music City, the home of country music. Back after this break.
Your parents have given you some amazing gifts, but what about the inherited ones? Celebrate them with Ancestry DNA, the simple test that shows your deep family roots from your mom's side and your dad's side, with some serious detail. Trace the journeys and history that shaped who you are today, and see the traits they passed down. Your connections to the past are all waiting. See just how gifted you are for only $34.
I get it. It's hard to change. Me? I'm pretty loyal. I've been on the same team for 17 years. Same coach for 11. Never switched my number once. I start every warm-up with a pass from the same guy. What's up, Curtis? And I shoot from the same spot. Every time. So you can imagine how good something has to be for me to change.
Can't beat it, can't beat it, can't beat it, can't beat it with the big bad dough. Come on. Don't I make it look easy? Don't I make it look good? Yeah.
Hold on to every memory this time of year and make it another December to remember, because
we're surprising Twisted Tea superfans with a Twisted Tea drop. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol to kick off your game day. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Well, the autumnal hues cascading across the landscape here in Nashville, Tennessee. Boisterous crowd on hand here. Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones, Quint Kessenich down to the field. Roddy, Kentucky's won 3 consecutive games. What would win number 6 mean beside the obvious, a bowl berth in the big picture?
It'd be huge for a program that really stumbled out of the blocks.
Oh, boy. Didn't get the requisite yardage to get the first down on 3rd and short. Continue what you were saying, and what big picture?
I mean, it's a 3-game win streak that they're on. To get them to 5-5, it would mean finishing strong, and obviously you never quite know what's going to happen in a rivalry game. They have Louisville next week. Louisville team that took it on the chin today against SMU. So you don't want bowl eligibility to come down to that game.
Right.
Rivalry games are notoriously crazy. So it would be huge for Mark Stoops in a season where they didn't start great to finish strong and get to bowl eligibility.
Yeah, stumbled out of the gate, went through a 4-game losing streak before winning the last 3. And we're going to have a procedure penalty here.
False start. Offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So they'll push it back a little bit to the 25-yard line. Aiden LaRosse punting from his own 15. An end-over-end moonshot and a fair catch called by Height. All the way back at the 24-yard line, but we have a flag on the 51-yard punt. So hold on a minute.
Flag on the play. During the kick, holding on the receiving team, number 12. The 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down. Timeout.
So Kentucky will have the football. You know, folks, this used to be a big rivalry game because of the proximity of the 2 cities and campuses, and look at how competitive they've been over the last 10 games. Hopefully we get that this evening. ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. Commodores with the football from their own 14-yard line. Mark Jones alongside Roddy Jones and Quint Kessenich down to the field. On the sweep, Trey Richardson picked up 5 yards at the end of it out to the 19-yard line. Richardson, one of the fastest players on that offense. 5'10" junior from Topeka, Kansas. On 2nd down, Pavia delivers complete at the 31 to Sherrill. We're going to mark his forward progress at the 29, though. Grant Grayton making the stop. A gain of 10. They'll move the chains, and Vanderbilt playing with some tempo now, Roddy.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're getting stopped by the officials, going a little bit slower. I don't think they substituted, so I don't know why exactly they would have slowed him down. But yes, the tempo going.
Pavia incomplete. He's now 8 of 10. On that opening drive, he went 6 for 7. Sets up a 2nd down and 10. He is one of the most charismatic players you'll ever meet on a college football field. Pavia, a wrestler at heart, says that Baker Mayfield is one of his inspirations. Another guy that didn't have a lot of offers or no offers coming out of high school, ended up a first-round pick. Similar size?
It's a good question. I have to see them stand next to each other. based on seeing Diego yesterday, I think Baker Mayfield probably a little bit taller.
Downfield, Pavia got a man in stride. Richardson, touchdown Commodores. Well, he spun that thing like Baker on that throw.
That's been the thing that's been most impressive this year about Diego Pavia. On the left side of your screen, Trey Richardson is one-on-one with Junkies Hardaway. Just runs right by him. The 6'3", 193-pound corner can't keep up with the speedy Trey Richardson. And it's an absolute dime thrown by Diego Pavia. His ability to complete passes down the field consistently, the confidence that he's throwing the ball with, that's where he's come the furthest in his development between last year and this year.
For Richardson, that's his third touchdown catch of the season. For Pavia, his 22nd touchdown pass of the year, and that was a career long for Richardson. 10-0.
Update. The polar vortex is bringing a lot of snow. Good news for a white Christmas, but just be safe getting home. This storm will be here through the night, as will I.
The greatest measure of the season is how it makes you feel. The December to Remember sales event. Get offers on select models.
So how are you feeling about your current money manager?
Well, I feel like we've outgrown them.
Well, she's right. Our lives have changed, and we need more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
I understand. At Fisher Investments, we get to know you, your goals, lifestyle, and needs, and then tailor a portfolio just for you.
That's good to hear. Can you help with estate planning?
Yes, and we can also help you with Social Security, investment income, tax-efficient strategy.
Welcome back, everyone, to First Bank Stadium. On the heels of Vanderbilt's longest pass of the season for a touchdown, it's 10-0. Commodores looking to win out and finish 10-2. After Kentucky this week, it's next week in Knoxville. As we check in with the studio, guys, what's good?
All right, Jonesy, Matt Berry back here in the studio. Happy week 13 of the college football season. Arkansas and Texas. Arch Manning to DeAndre Moore on a dot. Right now, Longhorns up on Arkansas, 7-6.
Cutter Bully looking 1st and 10.
It's a Kentucky offense that has really been stuck in the mud so far in this game. Vanderbilt controlled the ball for most of that first quarter, so they haven't been able to get in the rhythm. The Vanderbilt defensively, coming off their worst performance of the year, has been really good so far in this one.
Bully's going to hand it off to Dowdell. And Dowdell stopped up right near the line of scrimmage by Bryce Cowan. Coach Stoops, the longest tenured coach in the conference, in his 13th season on the sidelines, and his team with a rebirth after that game against the University of Mississippi when Boley took over. 12.5 minutes to go in the half. 3 receivers out to the bottom of your screen, including Kendrick Law. They go empty. Boley fires, incomplete. Broken up nicely at the 38-yard line by Jordan Matthews, the Tennessee transfer. And quickly it's 3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
The throw felt very dangerous. Just barely got over Randon Fontenette. And Fred Ferrier not quite able to haul it in on the sideline. The inability to run the football and the lack of efficiency on second downs has put them in a number of third and long situations, or third and certainly not advantageous situations. And these are where the freshman Cutter Boley has to take care of the football.
He's 3 of 4 so far for 11 yards. Boley buying time. Incomplete at the 27-yard line. McGowan couldn't squeeze it. And it's a quick 3 and out for the Wildcats offensively. Roddy, they talked about the importance of trying to generate some rushing type yards through passing plays, but we haven't seen a ton of that yet.
No, we haven't, but watch the route from the top by J.J. Hester. He's going to come open pretty early on, and Cutter Boley just doesn't deliver the football. If he gives Hester the ball, he probably has a chance to get the first down. He's going to need to run through a tackle, but the freshman got caught up on another progression, didn't get back to that crosser. It probably cost Kentucky a shot at the first down.
Ross with the nose of the football down, an end-over-end punt back to Martel Height at the 22. And Height out to the 31-yard line, a 9-yard return on that 53-yard punt. Vanderbilt will have the football again here in the home of country music.
1800s saw the Commodores in their first pigskin tilt. What is a Commodore, you say? A highly ranked commander, a Vanderbilt. Accomplished the unthinkable, 4 wins in this SEC. What is the significance of this day? Anchors away as Kentucky wheels down I-65, while the Commodores envision keeping a CFP hope alive. A little-known rivalry is in the queue, and a last Nashville encore for number 2. Don't front, man, you already know. One name, and it's Diego.
And when he arrived on campus, he told head coach Clark Lee, I look forward to coming to Vanderbilt and winning a championship. Those were his first words in his first meeting. Gets it out quickly. Pass complete to Richardson, who scored on that 71-yard touchdown connection a moment ago. Bobby and his family, it was interesting, Roddy. He carries his entire family and his entire hometown with him.
Yeah, and for large part, he's carried this program with him as well. Certainly, he's not the only one, but the face of Vanderbilt has to perform every week.
Pavia completes another one at the 39 to Eli Stowers-Q. That's his roommate. Down to you.
His energy was very apparent yesterday in practice. You walk in their indoor facility and you can spot him a mile away. You're like, that's the quarterback? Wow, he's 5'9", but his energy, his enthusiasm, and the way he rallies his troops. He was locked in yesterday. He is locked in today. He plays with emotion, and he just kind of exudes this incredible confidence, Mark. And I think his teammates are all in 100% behind him.
Yeah, you can see it, Quint, and you can feel it when you're in the practice facility. Great connection between coach and quarterback, which is always important.
And Mark, on that last play, Vanderbilt called for an illegal man downfield, so that wipes out the gain, puts him in 2nd and 11. They got Bryce Henderson, the tackle, once again.
So they back it up to the 30. Stowers in motion. Pavia is going to be sacked back at the 20-yard line by Humphrey Grace. Humphrey Grace and Khalil Saunders providing pressure up front all year.
Yeah, Mikey's Humphrey Grace is just going to go right inside Bryce Henderson, the tackle, who sets hard on the outside, and it just opens the door for the defensive end to have a free run at Diego Pavia. Now with 3rd and long, Kentucky's got an opportunity to get off the field on a 3rd down.
That's Humphrey Grace's 3rd sack of the season. 21st overall for the Kentucky defense. Commodores have to get to the 41. Pavia comes underneath on the pass, complete to Sherrill. Sherrill fighting, but coming up about 7 yards shy of the first down. So it'll be 4th down after that 13-yard gain. Landon Watson making the tackle from his linebacker spot for the Wildcats. And Kentucky's defense will get off the field. The player's slow to get up there for Vanderbilt. Looks like Bryce Henderson. on 4th and 8. Law back deep for this punt for the Wildcats. This is the first punt today for the Commodores. Law escaped a couple of would-be tacklers, then finally hit at about the 25. There's a flag down on the play.
Kind of looked like the knee of Kendrick Law might have been down after the first contact.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. From 3 stories up, it's tough to tell.
During the kick, holding number 16 to the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal from the spot where the kick ended. First down.
Well, for 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund supporting all student athletes. Thank you, Allstate. Well, Kentucky's longest play of the game so far, Roddy, is 8 yards. Where do they go to get something explosive here?
Well, Seth McGowan has been and Dante Dowdell have been a big part of creating the explosives from the running back position, but you have to stay dedicated to it. Kendrick Law is another guy who consistently does it. The other receivers that have created big plays at times this year just hasn't been consistent, but they do have some speed out on the field with DJ Miller, the freshman, who's one of the fastest receivers they have.
That's number 7 in white. Law in motion to the top of your screen. Law the target, incomplete, way off.
I think that thing was tipped, Mark. I think it was tipped by Randon Fontenette. But as you can see, a lot of blue in the stands here.
Somebody sold their tickets, man.
It's a short drive. Lexington down to Nashville. Nashville, always a trip the opposing fans love to make.
Nice easy drive on a Friday night or Saturday morning. 180 miles in all. 2nd down and 10. Going to keep it on the ground with McGowan. Not quite explosive, but pretty good. Close enough to the first down. Stone making the tackle on the 9-yard pickup. How does an Arkansas jersey get in the middle of all that Kentucky blue?
I think he's probably here for a bachelorette party and just decided to go to the game.
That's a good call.
Or he took a wrong turn when he was trying to head to Austin.
He might be lost. Good place to get lost, though, in Nashville. 3rd down and short. McGowan, the deep back out of the eye. Pressure. Boley on the move. And the pass is going to be ruled complete to Cameron Miller for the first down. Picked up 5, and Boley showed a lot of poise that time.
Yeah, we talked about the functional mobility of Cutter Boley. He's got a free runner coming right at him. He's able to escape, deliver an accurate football to convert on 3rd downs. Really nice job by the freshman quarterback.
He had a good run last week against Tennessee Tech where at the end of the run, he finished it off pretty well by lowering his hat.
There was a decision to be made by a defensive back from Tennessee Tech whether or not he was going to try and tackle Cutter Boley or get out of the way. He met him.
Yep.
Let's just say the 6'5", 220-pound quarterback got the better of it.
Cutter Boley's an interesting story. A local guy from Kentucky, grew up about 15 minutes from campus in Lexington there. His sister Erin is former 2016 high school basketball player of the year, played collegiately at Oregon, from a very athletic lineage and family. Pressure coming. McGowan going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage at the 19 by Coote. It'll be 2nd down and 11, loss of 1.
CJ Hurd from his safety position came absolutely screaming down the field. They got Pavia flags too?
Wow. Can buy it at their merch store, I think. I guess so. 2nd and 11.
A lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage for that offensive line to sort through.
Pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, harmlessly incomplete. CJ Hurd got a piece of it. Yeah, you might have heard that they were bringing some pressure today on Kentucky.
Well, C.J. Hurd and Langston Patterson get immediate pressure on Cutter Boley. This is what they want to do to the freshman quarterback. Put a lot of bodies up near the line of scrimmage. Try and confuse him. Try and get some pressure on him. Make him feel uncomfortable and make him feel like that Vanderbilt defense is living in the backfield. They've done that so far.
Third and 11, blitz coming. And they got to him. Boley sacked. And they lost a lot of yards. Marlon Sewell was the first one to arrive at the quarterback. And he had a little bit of company, too.
He blitzes from about 10 yards deep towards the right side of this offensive line. You're going to get the defensive end going that way, tackle going inside, and then Marlon Sewell just comes screaming down the field right at Cutter Boley. There's nothing you can do because of the bodies they had on the opposite side. The offensive line's going to the field, and then that safety blitz from the boundary gets home.
That was one of those I'll meet you at the quarterback blitzes dialed up by Steve Gregory, who says that one of his influences coaching-wise is Brian Flores. Former Dolphins head coach. Bearcats called back at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 after Height fields the punt of 51 yards. I'll tell you what, they got all kinds of Pavia merchandise. Team Pavia showing up big today.
And defense is showing up big.
Yes.
I mean, it's a defense that, as you said earlier, it's coming off their worst game of the season against Auburn. They gave up 563 yards. Allowed Ashton Daniels to get out of the pocket, make some plays with his legs. They gave up big plays in the run game. And Steve Gregory's defense has done a really nice job confusing the freshman quarterback early in this one.
A.J. Newberry in the backfield for Vanderbilt. Pavia keeps it after faking the jet sweep and makes it up close to the 44-yard line. That's where they'll spot his forward progress. Picked up 4, setting up a 2nd down and 6.
There's things that Diego Pavia does. We're like, how did that just work? Because he looks like he's going to bounce that outside. Does like a kind of half-hearted spin move to get back in behind his blockers. Hits a blocker along the way and then picks up 5 yards.
Yeah, so instinctive.
It didn't look pretty. It certainly didn't look like it was going to work, and yet, positive play.
Out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Pavia staring at 2nd down and 5. They go empty. Steps up into the pocket, and is dragged down at the 40-yard line by Humphrey Grace. That's his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So they get to Pavia.
The pocket actually ends up being pretty good, but the pressure comes off that right side after Diego Pavia is looking and looking and looking down the field. Eventually, the defensive linemen just keep working and working, and Mike's Humphrey Grace ends up getting there.
Look at Brad White, the defensive coordinator on the sideline. His defense slowing down the Commodores so far on this drive. Under 6 minutes to go, 3rd and long.
A short blitz off that right side to the top of your screen.
Pavia delivers a dart complete. 1st down to Trent Hudson.
It's a nice job by Diego Pavia. Sees the way the coverage is rolling, looks back to his left, and delivers an accurate ball on 3rd down.
Comes underneath this time. Pass is complete to Newberry, and Newberry moves the chains again inside the 30, down to the 28. This offense with a little bit of rhythm now, going with tempo, 12-yard gain. Pavia rolls right. Wide open at the 20-yard line, his receiver, Tristan Brown, and he picks up another 1st down. Gain of about 13 on the play.
And Eli Stowers on that play took 2 Kentucky defenders' attention, and it left the receiver on the boundary wide open.
Timeout.
Kentucky on its heels right now. Shaken.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
1st and 10 Commodores. Hey, this week on Sunday NFL Countdown live from Kansas City before the Colts Chiefs AFC Showdown. Plus, inside the 48 hours with LA that saved Baker Mayfield's career. And Randy's best catches of the week in You Got Moss. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then Monday Night Football, Week 12. Panthers, 49ers, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Deportes and the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Ely on 2. Coverage kicks off with NFL Live at 3 Eastern. Then Scott Van Pelt and Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern.
On the left there is offensive coordinator Tim Beck, who was with Diego Pavia for a couple seasons at New Mexico State before they both relocated here to Nashville for the Vanderbilt Commodores. And Tim Beck told us that Diego really likes the tempo, and because of the effectiveness of him throwing the ball, they are much more of a tempo team than they used to be.
Great point. He's connected on 8 of his last 9. Pavia overshoots his intended receiver on the sidelines. Trey Richardson, one of his favorite targets.
It's the first inaccurate pass I've seen Diego Pavia throw in the last 2 days. That includes yesterday at their practice.
Surprised he hasn't hit Stowers on this drive yet. His roommate, a guy that has history with Pavia going back to his JUCO days at New Mexico Military Institute. From the 15. Pass complete. Caught by Richardson. Did he make it? Touchdown, Commodores!
Well, there's 2 Kentucky defenders over here, over the 2 receivers for Vanderbilt, but you get a blitz off the edge, which makes it 1-on-2 on the outside, and the speed of Trey Richardson and is going to beat the pursuit from inside out from the Kentucky defense the entire way. It's a really good job of Diego Pavia seeing that, and a nice job of Trey Richardson. Not sure if the ball crosses the goal line inside the pylon, but it doesn't matter because that leg hits the pylon, as you can see on the pylon cam.
Kicked it.
Whack. And once you hit the pylon with any body part, you get goal line extended. That means the ball just needs to cross the plane. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the field of play.
Now you sound like Jerry McGinn.
Well, I've been hanging out with Jerry all year long.
Hey, Jerry, I didn't know you had a brother from another mother over here. Jerry. You've been eating with the officials during dinner time, huh? Is that right, Jerry?
Hey,
you taught Roddy well.
He's our best student.
Hey, look, when you have the sensei every week with you, you just sit there and learn. I am the young grasshopper, Jerry. Thank you.
You're the best.
Oh, man. First rushing career touchdown for Richardson on that dash to the end zone, and the numbers continue to mount for Pavia and that Commodore offense.
I think obviously this Vanderbilt offense has been excellent so far in this one. The 1 punt, they got bogged down and kicked a field goal once, but you had the big play to Trey Richardson down the field, and then the lateral that ends up in a touchdown. This Vanderbilt defense, though, has been smothering so far. It really feels like Kentucky's going to need a big play, but if Diego Pavia keeps performing, he's going to do exactly what he asked us yesterday.
Which was, what's it going to take, Roddy and Mark, for me to get to New York?
We just said, hey, man, keep balling out. The numbers you've been putting up the last couple of weeks have been tremendous. You keep doing that, and it'll take care of itself.
Yeah, we don't need to gas him up. He's doing it on his own. Take a look at some of the notable Heisman candidates. Mendoza.
You look at Diego Pavia's numbers compared to the other crew, and they stand up with anybody across the country. But Julian Sayin and Fernando Mendoza's teams are undefeated, so they get a little bit more hype. But then you add what Diego Pavia does in the rush game, and it's more than a Julian Sayin or a Fernando Mendoza. You know, I think Haynes King from Georgia Tech, those are 2 guys kind of on the outside of the Heisman conversation that should be squarely in it.
That's a lot closer than it seems. On the receiver screen, Hester with perhaps the longest play of the game for Kentucky picks up the first down. Q, you got a little bit more on that Heisman candidacy.
Yeah, if you're Diego, you got next week's game in your back pocket. You're going to Knoxville, Tennessee afternoon game that's going to be seen by a lot of the nation. There aren't very many big-time games next Saturday. He'll be one of them. And if this Vandy Commodore team can get a win in Knoxville against an SEC rival, that would be huge. You get to 10 wins, and I think he'd have momentum towards New York City.
A lot of groundswell for him. Blitz coming off the edge. Boley took the first hit and delivers a dime and a strike to Willie Rodriguez for the first down. And somebody lost their hat. It was the quarterback, Boley. And he's writhing in pain right now. Cutter Boley down in the field being attended to by the athletic trainers. Remember, he took over after the game against the University of Mississippi. Started against Eastern Michigan, and here's how he took that hit. Oh, he ran into some friendly fire from Burton, his starting center.
It was the corner blitz that sort of forced all of this to happen. Jalen Lackey comes free, hits Cutter Boley, who's able to break the first tackle, but at the pursuit of Zaylen Wood ends up getting to him. And that's a look at Zach Calzada, who started the season as the starter for Kentucky. You mentioned got banged up in that Ole Miss game. So Cutter Boley's taken over and never given that position back. An experienced guy who started his career at Auburn at Texas A&M before going to Auburn, 2 years at Incarnate Word for Zach Calzada. So he's been around. But this is a situation where they're certainly concerned about the health of Cutter Boley after that really awkward running into his offensive lineman.
He maintained his poise under that heavy rush. The redshirt freshman has been imperturbable for most of the season, really maintaining his cool back there as he did on that last play, but took an awkward hit. It looked like his neck got twisted in taking that hit from Burton, his center. Young man said, and I quote, "It just means more to be at UK for me because I want to rep the people of this state." You certainly admire his toughness. Took a big shot there. This is not a sport for the faint of heart.
No, it's not. Not even if you're a quarterback and all the rules are there to protect you.
Yeah. I talked about what it means and how much it means to him. That's him. As a young child, what was he, 5 years old here at the time in this picture? Taking in a UK football game?
It's about that. It's a big 5-year-old. He's a big college football player now.
Freshman, too.
Hopefully he's able to work his way back into this one.
On the flea flicker, on the first play, Calzada into the end zone. Incomplete. So they took a shot to J.J. Hester on the flea flicker, but C.J. Hurd was back there in coverage.
It's a really nice job by C.J. Hurd, who had a lot of ground to cover to get over to J.J. Hester. I like the aggressiveness of the offensive coordinator, Bush Hamdan. Unfortunately, just a little bit off on that throw, trying to catch Vanderbilt off guard. They almost had it, but a nice recovery by C.J. Hurd.
Sets up second down and 10. That was their first play in Commodore territory. On the receiver screen, nowhere to go. Well read, well deciphered, well dissected. Mark Davis, the first tackler there to bring down DJ Miller.
Sets up that third and long. Once again, it's the ability on the outside by the corners, the physicality to see it and to break on it. Jalen Lackey who's been all over the place. Excuse me, that was Mark Davis, as you said. But it sets up the 3rd and long. Vanderbilt's brought pressure at times. Zach Calzada's in for his 3rd play. Will Vanderbilt heat him up? Try and make him make a quick decision.
Defensive coordinator Steve Gregory has been bringing a little bit of pressure. Calzada downfield. Picked off at the 25. It'll come back the other way. Commodores with the turnover. Colby Taylor had a beat on that, and it'll come back to Vanderbilt.
Well, they rotate the coverage on him. Colby Taylor starts at corner and then works back in a cover 2 safety and then breaks on the football. Zach Calzada thinks he's got an open receiver, but Taylor puts his foot in the ground, drives on the ball, and what ends up being a pretty ambitious throw turns out to be a pretty disastrous throw as Vanderbilt picks it off.
And there's another look at the Brooklyn native, Steve Gregory, who grew up on the handball courts of Brooklyn. And yeah, his defense doing a great job today pitching a shutout. They have been impenetrable so far.
Got the first turnover created in the last 3 games for this Vanderbilt defense.
The 5th interception of the season. Newberry in the backfield. Pavia completes it out to the 34 to Sherrill.
Now Vanderbilt's in a situation where you could have a 4-score lead going into halftime.
After the gain of 12, Pavia again on the out pattern, incomplete at the 35 for Hudson. That stops the clock with 2:18 to go in the first half.
This offense has really been driven by Diego Pavia this season, but Eli Stowers has been the leading receiver this season. Only 2 receptions so far in this game for the big tight end, and Vanderbilt wants to keep those college football playoff hopes alive. You got to win this one.
He might be looking for his roommate Stowers sooner rather than later. But all is good so far. He's 15-19, Pavia is. Scans the field, spins, doing a little bit of dancing down there, and brought down at the 35-yard line. Rayner making the tackle from his Mike linebacker spot, along with Cowan. And we have hit the 2-minute timeout for the Commodores, leading 17-0. Commodores looking to win out. Still thinking about the college football playoff. Back after this.
It's closed.
What about my letter?
Call Uncle Brian.
To the North Pole.
Free time and extra savings. Which means this holiday season, you can be as extra as you want.
Matt Barry coming up on the Lexus halftime report. A big one in the Big Ten between USC and Oregon. It should be a Pac-12 game. That's for another story. Plus, Arch Manning putting on a show for Texas against Arkansas. And we're down to the final 2 weeks of the regular season. College football playoff berths are on the line, including for JMU. We'll have highlights of that coming up next.
All right, Matt, back here, 4th down and 1 for the Commodores. The direct Wildcat snap fumbled by Alexander, and they're not going to get the first down. The Wildcats will take over on downs. And perhaps the first pivotal game play that goes their way in this contest.
I don't hate the decision by Vanderbilt to go for it. You've controlled this game and your defense has been great, but it's the second time Cedric Alexander has been at the quarterback spot receiving the snap, and the second time it's been bobbled. The first time Diego Pavia was able to catch it off the bobble. That time it ends up in disaster, and Kentucky has great field position.
Sure do. Cutter Boley, we are told, has suffered a neck injury and is questionable to return. So Zach Calzada will be back in the football game for his 2nd series. Q?
Yeah, Cutter was throwing some warm-up tosses on the sideline, but he remains sidelined without his helmet on. This is Calzada, their original starter earlier in the year, Mark, a well-traveled righty veteran. I think he's 25 years old. He's been to A&M, to Auburn, to Incarnate Word here at Kentucky. 2 starts early this season. A chance for a little bit of redemption for the veteran.
Yeah, he's getting his chance now, and he is letting it fly. On his first play in, went into the end zone, albeit incomplete. 5-yard gain on that pass and run to Kendrick Law. 2nd down and 5. McGowan in the backfield. Calzada complete. Down to the 28. C.J. Hurd making the hit on Gilmore, the 4th. Approaching a minute to play, a gain of 2. 3rd down and about 4 to go for the Wildcats. How big is the score here for Kentucky, Roddy?
I think it's very big. Vanderbilt gets the ball first in the second half. So not only is the score big, a touchdown would be huge. Bring it to a 2-score game. And Vanderbilt got the ball with an opportunity to go up 4 scores at 17-0, but the stop on 4th down put Kentucky in a pretty good spot. Zach Calzada just gave a high five, looked like to Cutter Boley, who sprinted into the huddle. Now Cutter Boley in the middle of the scrum there with the offense. Could we see number 8 re-into the game on this crucial 3rd down?
Got his hat back on.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Steve Gregory, the defensive coordinator for Vanderbilt, as soon as I see that, it's time to bring the pressure.
Yeah.
He just got knocked out because he got a hit. I think you challenge the freshman to stand in there with fire in his face and deliver the football.
Let's see if Steve Gregory heats him up. 3rd and 4 for Kentucky. Boley's going to be stopped short by Sidnor. And it'll be 4th down coming up. A loss of 2 on the play for the Wildcats. Let's see if they're going to leave the offense on the field or not here.
That was yet another play where Steve Gregory didn't bring the pressure, but he did change the picture on the back end. That coverage started out looking like it was going to be cover 3 with a safety in the middle of the field. They end up having that middle field safety sprint to the half, a corner drop back to the other half. Completely different picture post-snap from what it looked like for the freshman pre-snap, and I think that's why they end up forcing the 4th down.
Good work. Hey, there's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who will take home the trophy this year? I want to get back to Steve Gregory and his signature quote-unquote exotic blitzes. What do they look like? How would you characterize an exotic blitz?
An exotic blitz is when you have a blitz come out of a formation that forces communication. So typically there's some sort of stunt, someone coming from the second level, and it forces the offense, particularly the offensive line, to sort it out in real time and confuses the quarterback because what he sees before the snap doesn't match what he sees after the snap.
Kentucky going to call a timeout.
Be a 30-second timeout.
This defense, Steve Gregory has been very impressive so far. Coming off a game against Auburn that was a little bit more high scoring than the one that we're watching right now. But does their defense have enough to carry them to their goal, do you think?
Well, honestly, the offense is so good, the defense doesn't have to be
okay.
great.
Okay.
The defense just has to be better than they have been the past 2 games. And during the bye week, Clark Lee and Steve Gregory talked a lot about communication and maybe simplification. That pro style that Steve Gregory has means that you are checking to every motion that goes across the formation. You're changing coverages and fronts. Some of that stuff may not be needed. Just get your cleats in the ground and play, and that's what they've done today.
Jacob Coway, 12 of 15 on the season. This one coming from 47 yards out. And he got it just inside that right upright to get Coach Stoops' team on the board with 59 seconds to go in the opening half. So Kentucky looking for their 4th win in a row. Keep riding a little bit of momentum. Now let's take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Verbo.
Important to note that the 2 teams outlined in gold, Miami and Tulane, have to win their conference. Miami has a minuscule chance of making the ACC championship game and would likely need to earn its berth to the college football playoff. through an at-large bid. To do that, they probably need the first 2 teams out. BYU, Utah, maybe some ahead. Alabama, Notre Dame, probably need a couple of those to lose. Although the eye test, I think, is what has held Miami back to this point. And I would
34-17 winners today.
Yeah, they were up a big in that game against Virginia Tech, and they let Virginia Tech get back into it, which has kind of been the recipe for Miami this season. But the other one, Miami fans keep talking about Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
I know, I hear it all the time.
Yes, you do, living in South Florida. Notre Dame was up 35-0 against Syracuse, having run 5 offensive plays. I would say the eye test on that one is certainly being checked.
Style points. I get it. Right here it's 17-3, and Vanderbilt with an outside chance still, perhaps making it to that aforementioned college football playoff. They need to win out and get a bunch of help as well. But either way, they are trending towards a great finish and a spectacular season. There's a look at the numbers today for Diego Pavia. Think about it, no offers coming out of high school. Started off 3rd string at JUCO. Beat out, one of the guys he beat out along his path was Eli Stowers, who's now his tight end, who was with him at New Mexico State.
Funny, talking to Diego yesterday, we asked him about that quarterback competition between he and Stowers. He said, I beat him, no doubt. Also, he owes me money because that forced him to switch to tight end, where he's going to make the NFL and make a ton of it.
Yeah, he's looking for his percentage. Pavia gets it out quickly, complete to the 29. That's Richardson. Man, he has been pretty much uncoverable so far. And Mom's got the t-shirt made already. 8-yard pickup on the play for Richardson. They might want to start booking some plane fares for Team Pavia. Running circles around that defense and delivers a pass. It's complete to Cedric Alexander.
Mom loves it. That plays like that are where the Johnny Manziel comparisons come in.
Okay.
Spinning around in the backfield. Defender's got his jersey around the numbers. He's able to break that and then delivers an accurate ball on the sideline. I mean, that's where the Johnny football comparisons come from. The magic in the backfield, the improvisation, and how many times has he been in a tight quarters where he's able to just maneuver and get out of it and create a play? That's why he's so fun to watch.
Great instincts. 11-yard pickup, 17-3. Perhaps looking for another score before the end of the half. Downfield, caught, complete. They call him Diego Pavia. The remix to Richardson. Incredible accuracy downfield to Trey Richardson, his favorite target today. That's 2 touchdown receptions for Richardson. And on senior day, you might want to rename this Trey Day. Richardson putting up numbers with the aid of Pavia.
Well, they end up getting Trey Richardson on the safety. Quashid Scott ends up rolling back in cover 2. And it's a little bit of a switch release. Richardson goes here, and then you get a little rail route up the sideline, and Trey Richardson just runs right by the safety, who opens his hips to try and get to his landmark, then has to flip him and get up the field and just runs right by him. I mean, Trey Richardson, a guy who's hit 21.5 miles per hour on the GPS, a safety that's got his hips turned one way, has to flip, he's got no chance sticking with the fastest receiver for the Vanderbilt Commodores. And how about the throw again from Diego Pavia?
Dimed him up. Tell you what, you shouldn't need a GPS to find Richardson. If you're coming to a Vanderbilt football game, you might want to get some seats in that Pavia section, because that's where the party's going on.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be a party somewhere else where there's going to be a Pavia section as well. Walk up to the velvet rope and say, hey, man, I talked to that guy yesterday. Can I get in there?
Yes. And now a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
24-3, 38 seconds to go in the first half. And a dominant first half for the Commodores.
And I think, Mark, you see why Clark Lea was calling those timeouts late in that Kentucky possession, trying to get the ball back, and he was aggressive with his offense. I mean, this is a team that could probably use some style points down the stretch, and they are making a statement today to the College Football Playoff Committee.
They're opening up some eyes here. Pass incomplete, intended for Miller. Vanderbilt coming in with a record of 8-2. Looking for their first 9-win regular season since 1950.
I mean, I don't even know how to accurately depict how impressive it is that you're doing something for the first time since 1915.
No, I didn't do that game, Roddy.
I wasn't gonna. Our producer Kim Belton did that. It was the one that hit that in our ear. The question is, did Kim do that game?
Yeah, he might have done the game. Yeah.
On Transistor Radio. Yeah, see, Diego Pavia.
Gilmore the fourth with a reception, picked up 14. Boley out of the backfield, incomplete from McGowan. Stops the clock with 19 seconds to go. Keep in mind, Kentucky coming off an impressive win last week against Tennessee Tech, which had a 15-game winning streak.
But even before that, it was a really impressive game against Florida a few weeks ago. They beat the Gators 38-7, able to create some turnovers.
Pass complete at the 45. That's the tight end, Willie Rodriguez. And they got one timeout remaining. They're going to burn it right here after that 8-yard pickup. I love what Coach Clark Lea said to us. Said he remembered getting bludgeoned in years 1 and 3, and then connecting with the players who stayed and invested to share the defeats and exuberance of victory. Extremely impressive in our time we spent with him yesterday.
He's unbelievably impressive. There's a reason why his name's being thrown around for jobs around the country. Vanderbilt fans certainly on pins and needles to wait to see, make sure Clark Lea, a guy who played here, is invested his blood, sweat, and tears in this place as a player, and obviously as a coach, to make sure they can keep him here long term. But talk about impressive coaches around the country. I'm not sure there's many more impressive than Clark Lea with what he's done and the way he's built it. And the vision to go and get Tim Beck and Diego Pavia and Jerry Kill from New Mexico State has changed his program.
That pass complete at the 48-yard line to Rodriguez again. Hey, the most impressive part of it for me with Coach Lea, any coach that can fast for 36 hours Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's inner strength.
No kidding. He told us all about how he told us the discipline and suffering in any arena can strengthen you, and that discipline to fast 3 times a week during the year and the suffering that comes from it makes every day a win.
That's winning the battle against yourself. Pass incomplete, intended for Gilmore the fourth. I can get up to like 16 hours, you know,
I
in
get
terms
up to
of
like 16 minutes of intermittent fasting.
You mean halftime? Halftime hot dogs?
Oh no, I'm already overdue. But let me tell you, yesterday he took us through a mock recruiting pitch.
Yes.
Told us about all of the different ways that he has built this program, and it's just so impressive because none of it is hokey. None of it's inauthentic. All of it comes from a place of authenticity.
Got a whistle and a timeout
Vanderbilt
called, and let's go down to Q for more on Coach Lea.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. His dad, Clark Sr., a doctor for the baseball club here in Nashville, was at practice yesterday. And Clark, you can tell he's well-read. This is a guy who reads a lot of books on a lot of different subjects. Mark, but I love what you said. So the best part of this journey here has been the hard part, getting bludgeoned. To submit to pivot, to learn. It's been so rewarding to stay and hold the line and to be bedrock. And they've had breakthroughs because of that. And folks at home, you are watching this team break through.
Talked to us, Q, about the path of least resistance. And he said, I used to hate the path of least resistance. And then I realized that I love it because it allows the people who don't need to be here to get out easily. And all that you're left with is those that enjoy the suffering and the pursuit of that excellence. Oh, look at that. Coach Tim Corbett in the building.
Championship baseball coach.
Andy boys.
21-point lead. Wildcats taking a shot downfield, short of the end zone and picked off at the 7-yard line by Martell Height. Martell thinking about big dreams, big ambitions, but brought down. And that's it. (24-3) halftime, and we got a little bit of chin checking going on near midfield after that interception. This used to be, geographically anywhere, a rivalry game because of the proximity of the two cities, Lexington and Nashville.
Kentucky would be well served to show that fight between the whistles.
Facts. Big facts. But Diego Pavia in that first half, 18 of 22 passing, 279 yards, 2 touchdown tosses. Spotlight brought to you by Cintas, with the Commodores up 24-3, and Diego Pavia came out slinging, and he was red hot on senior day. 35 players walking today with their closest family members, and he represented the family.
He's got 4 incompletions on the day, 18 of 22, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns. That considered a rush because it was a lateral, but 2 long bombs to Trey Richardson, who has 144 yards in the first half. And Diego Pavia, if you didn't think that his pursuit for the Heisman Trophy was going to kick into high gear today, and you hadn't been watching, because the last 2 games he's been over 300-yard passing and 21 yards away from topping 300 again today. He's been on fire.
They might want to start booking some tickets for New York for that young man and his family.
And they got direct flights from Nashville, right?
Yes, direct. Of course, the way he's playing, it shouldn't be commercial. It should be PJ.
I'm sure it will be, and much deserved.
Commodores will have control of the football first. First and 10 from their own 25-yard line as we go down to Q.
Clark Lee told me at halftime, relatedness is our edge. And in terms of defensive communication, he's really happy with what he's seeing. It was a point of emphasis for the Commodores during their bye week. And when he's talking about his communication on defense, it's echoing the call. It's using hand signals to communicate with players amongst it in the secondary, and it's using eye contact. So you see the call, so you're making the correct checks. Next time Vandy's on defense, watch the communication and see how visual and see how intentional it is, Mark.
There's eye contact right there, face to face, eyeball to eyeball, chest to chest, but invariably coming from a good place, as you can tell at the ending. And I just want to wish Quint a happy 38th birthday?
Might be 28th.
28th birthday. Happy birthday, Q. Nobody extricates information out of the locker from the coaches and players better than our partner, Quint Kessin. Happy birthday, brother.
Mark, thank you. You set the standard. If my mom's watching in Woodstock, New York, love you, Mom.
One of the best lacrosse players of all time, too.
Of all time. And if you don't know, ask about it.
Google that thing.
Google it. Have to give a shout out. It's also my wife Jackie's birthday today. Happy birthday to her.
Come on now, really?
Yes, sir.
Hey. The heck you doing here with us?
We gotta work.
24-3. They run it into the boundary with Young, and he's bottled up at about the 20-yard line. Nowhere to go. Grant Godfrey making the tackle on the play. So Vanderbilt leading 24-3. They start up with the ball here in the third quarter. And
you cold, partner?
It's chilly.
It's like 61 degrees. You brought out the big coat.
Miami guy. I went from classy to ashy. You see how cold it is out here. But Commodores staying hot offensively, if nothing else.
Yes,
right?
they are. I mean, Diego Pavia got off to such a great start in the first half. You would have to imagine they're going to continue to be aggressive.
They run it between the tackles with Cedric Alexander. Picks up 4 yards on the play. Alexander came into the game averaging 4 yards per carry.
I thought you were from Toronto, too.
Well,
I'm still stuck on the fact that you pulled out the
I'm more Miami. I've spent most of my adult life in Miami. Okay. So, yeah, the blood is thinned out. And
the time in Connecticut didn't help?
No.
Okay. Big third down for Vanderbilt Commodores. Yeah. Someone get Mark a heater.
On the play fake. Pass complete to Gabe Fisher, and he's going to be right near that first down marker. Let's see what kind of spot they give him. He comes up hobbling.
His leg got twisted up.
Looks like he's just a little bit short.
There's about 100 left leg got twisted up big time. There's about 100 people on each sideline, and so that's 200 total, let's say. 199 of them would have come out of the game, but Gabe Fisher, the fullback, just limping around, trying to will himself there. Big fourth down, though.
They're 1 of 2 on fourth down today. Made one earlier. Pavia going to keep it himself. Takes out his do-it-yourself kit and told a would-be tackler, you got to talk to the hand because my feet aren't listening. Cam Dooley got a stiff arm.
We just saw how this guy got twisted up, and look at this block he gets on the edge. I mean, you talk about toughness. Clark Lee's going to love that. A former fullback himself, just enough on the edge to let Diego Pavia get to the outside. I mean, I would have been down for 6 months after what just happened to Gabe Fisher. Still limping around, but that's the toughness, the connectedness, the togetherness of this Vanderbilt program, wanting to give everything for one another.
It's helped to make it a very special year here. Pavia rolls out and pulls. Pass was low but complete to Sherrill. They've been keeping an eye on scores in these various games, Roddy.
I'll tell you, this score right here, keep an eye on it, because if Utah loses, it opens up a spot and you can inch up the rankings. Miami wins, Oklahoma wins, Oregon wins, but Vanderbilt doesn't have to make it all up in 1 week. Again, you're trying to get to that number 10 spot right now and then hope for no upsets elsewhere, but Vanderbilt making a statement with how it's performed as the number 14 team in the country.
Pavia's connected on 12 of his last 14. Keeps it off the fake on the jet sweep and picks up the first down. Grant Godfrey making the stop on the play. Well, Tuesday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app, we'll have the exclusive reveal of the next college football playoff top 25 rankings. Reese and the gang will break it down from top to bottom, have coaches' reactions as well as live interview with the new committee chairman, Hunter Yurachek, the Arkansas athletic director. They'll also project the 12-team field. That's Tuesday night, 7 Eastern on ESPN.
So far it's been pretty chalky in the top 25.
No surprises, huh? Pavia into traffic, incomplete, no flags. Intended for Alexander. Now there's a flag down back near the line of scrimmage. Pavia got some Kevin Costners down there, some bodyguards. Or maybe it's him breaking it up. Pavia may have taken a hit. Let's take another look here.
Number 92, Khalil Saunders, who hits Diego Pavia late, question mark? If this ends up being roughing the passer, I don't exactly like that call. We'll see, though. I'll reserve my judgment.
It was interesting. Coach is telling us that Pavia has done a better job this year of taking care of his body, because last year he took a few more hits than he has so far this year.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 92, 15-yard penalty, Automatic first down.
Yeah, I don't like this call. I think Khalil Saunders is going to try and bat the ball down, and it's a step right after the ball's thrown. I mean, he's 300 pounds trying to slow his momentum. Let's bring in Jerry. Jerry, what do you think about it?
Rowdy, we may have to send you back to class. I like this. I like this call. He sees the balls away. He takes an extra step. He doesn't have to push him down. It's a good call.
There's physics involved there. Like, I run into the guy, I'm going to fall down.
It's a lot of force. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, boy, you listen in class. I remember when football was a tough guy sport.
You and Jerry used to be friends, huh? That was quick.
Jerry, he's the teacher for a reason. Doesn't mean I have to like his grades.
On 1st and 10 after the penalty, off the fake, Pavia open at the 15, caught and brought down Alexander close to the 10-yard line. Another first down for the Commodores and another flag on that 18-yard gain.
I think you're going to get number 70,
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 70 of the offense. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced at the dead ball spot. The result of the play is a first down. It'll be 1st and 10.
I actually thought they could have gotten Cade McConnell on
unsportsmanlike foul for number 70.
On sportsmanlike after the play or holding before the play. It does result in an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, which the second one would have him ejected from the game. But results-wise, that's actually the better of the two results, because if it had been called a hold, then it would have been 10 yards and replay the down. This one, they get the first down. They don't get the yardage, all the yardage, but still have first down out of it.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to make a statement and plant your feet and say something about protecting your quarterback, even if the message is a little bit late.
That's a great point.
Could be, could not be.
Clark Lee told his team, he warned him about the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties because the whole team got one against Auburn. But he said, I like a chippy Vanderbilt football team, and they have been that today.
Newberry in the backfield. Pavia scrambling, tackled from behind at the 28-yard line. Wonderful pursuit by Gerard Smith II. Boy, he ran down Pavia there.
Yes, he did. A lot of momentum coming around the edge. Diego Pavia was trying to get a receiver open down the field. Pavia's looking, seems unaware that he's got a defender behind him. And then a little bit extra. Now that's, that one could have drawn a flag, although it's probably tough for the officials to see in real time.
So that's their third sack today. Setting up a 2nd and 12 now. Pavia steps up, runs it himself, got a first down and then some. Tiptoes out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. 1st and goal, Vanderbilt.
You talk a lot with a mobile quarterback of the integrity of the rush lanes. The defensive line gets so spread out as Diego Pavia drops back to pass that not only is there a giant pocket, but there's huge lanes for him to step up and run into. And that is not a guy that you want to give lanes to because of his creativity, mobility, and vision when he's running the football.
Picked up 21. Down to the 7. Alexander in the backfield. Pavia into the end zone. Caught. Sherrill. Touchdown. Pavia dropping dimes like a bank teller. You talk about a tight window.
They say there's no defense for a perfect pass. You couldn't have walked this thing to the corner of the end zone any better. Imagine there's a bucket on the pylon. If Junior Sherrill's not there, that thing goes right into the bucket on the pylon. There's no defense for this. It's a perfect throw to Junior Sherrill. One of the most beautiful throws that we've seen from Diego Pavia today.
Come on now.
And that's what they talk about when they say drop it in the bucket. Quarterbacks practice, you go and you put a bucket or a trash can in a spot to show where you're going to throw it. Diego Pavi's been dropping it in the bucket all day long.
Get up to 22 hours of battery life with Snapdragon.
With Daisy sour cream, every bite gets better. Every dollop, every squeeze, every moment together. Mix it in, bring the fun. You can never get enough when you do a dollop of Daisy. Good food tastes better with a dollop of Daisy. Do a dollop, do a dollop, yeah. Everything tastes better with a dollop of Daisy.
Generally, ranchers are one of the more skeptical groups.
I was cautiously pessimistic about it at first.
But then you start reading and you start educating yourself with trusted sources.
It offers you access 24 hours a day.
It's my money, and I can do whatever I want with it, whether that's invest, pay somebody, or just use it as retirement.
This technology really can be used for good.
Let's go, boys!
One thing I've noticed about football fans is they all talk like the players can actually hear them.
Proud of you. Looking good. Keep it up.
But when you have Geico Insurance, you'll always be heard. They have top-notch customer service with people who really care.
There you go. That's how you run inside zone.
Anything for you, bud.
Cool. Could you pass the ball?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just pass the ball.
Yeah, just pass.
Okay.
Pass it.
It feels good to be heard. It feels good to Geico.
3, 2, 1. Nuggets!
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Everyone's really buying into this.
Everybody's like rushing to get a ticket.
Everyone's going to the games, and it's not just tailgating, it's also going to the games.
It's a real SEC school now, and it's really exciting. Honestly, such an incredible thing to be a part of and to see the excitement not only in the band, but with the student base and the faculty.
It really is great to see a community come together and rally behind a college football team and to see the impact that it has on the greater community. Pretty remarkable sometimes, and that's the story here in Nashville. And you can see some guys making plays and making contact after the whistle now, Roddy. It's getting a little bit chippy down there.
It is, and it started before halftime, and I said somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but also fairly seriously, that Kentucky should show that same amount of fight between the whistles. And what Vanderbilt has to do now is find a way to continue to play with that edge without costing your team and allowing Kentucky more opportunities through you doing stuff after the whistle. But Kentucky channel some of that energy into getting first downs and points.
See the huge discrepancy in yards gained tonight. They run it into the boundary with McGowan. And McGowan will pick up about 4 yards on the play. It's an interesting story with McGowan. Jay Boulware was the running back coach. He was the running back coach at Kentucky. Recruited McGowan when he was at Oklahoma. But the two of them have history and helped out on the journey here to Kentucky for that young man there. McGowan again between the tackles, picked up maybe 2 yards on the play. Singh making the stop.
It's been a frustrating day for Seth McGowan and that Kentucky offense. A lot of it has come from their inability to run the football. Vanderbilt's done an excellent job, only allowing 9 rush yards so far in this one. It's put a lot on the plate, the freshman quarterback, Cutter Bowler.
3rd and 4.
Hugh talked about the communication for Vanderbilt defensively. You could see all of them mirroring the same exact hand signal. All of them trying to get on the same page.
Pressure coming. Incomplete at the 33, and it's 4th down. Height knocked it away. It was intended for Caddis. And 4th down coming up for the Wildcats. And Steve Gregory's defense continues to almost pitch a shutout here. They've only allowed a field goal so far. And a nice bounce back performance coming off of that Auburn game. Seemingly making the requisite adjustments during that bye week. 5th punt coming out for LaRose. And a fair catch called at the 25-yard line by Height. A 43-yard punt. Nothing on the return.
We saw them practicing the coin flip in practice because Clark Lee wants his team to be a top of the dugout team. Energy spilling over, and it has been today.
What you doing, Zach?
Oh, so you corporate types think you're rock stars?
That's as ridiculous as us being corporate types. Let's begin.
Rockstar move using Workday to handle all our AI agents.
Well, watch me handle my agent, Gary. Bubbly water, no bubbles.
So what'd you do this weekend?
The huge.
Shout out to Carmen for using Workday to manage our people and AI agents.
What are we doing?
Just clap.
Carmen!
Hi, my name's Pete. Been a chef for the past 25 years. Spent the last 7 years at Factor. Ready-to-eat meal delivery services are not created equal. At Factor, it's personal. Nutrition and flavor is first and foremost when we create any dish. Everything is done from scratch every single day. All our meals are easy, perfectly portioned, and macro-friendly. If you're wanting to cut calories, add some more protein to your diet, or just eat delicious, nutritious meals, Factor's got you covered.
Get 50% off your first box at factormeals.com.
Please join us now as we remember and honor Alan Williams.
Don't fix it.
Oh, I love you, babe.
Let's go, Diego! The hard one's the first.
I tell you what, Mom burns a lot of energy and calories during these games, man. I mean, she's active.
Usually these games are roller coaster rides for moms. What happens when the roller coaster never goes down? You just keep going up and up and up. That's what it's been today. It's been fun.
Commodores are going up. So is Pavia, checks it down underneath. And his tailback hurdles the defender. Young made like a high hurdler there.
Mykylan Young, top shelf. Junkies Holloway 6'3". Mykylan Young's 5'10". How about that for athleticism? When it's your day, it's your day. Yes. And it feels like everything that Vanderbilt tries is working today.
.705 to go in the third quarter. Pavia has been near perfect today throwing the football. Clean pocket. Completes another one. Young broke a tackle, pushed out of bounds at about the 40. Strong run. Mykylan Young picked up 6.
Let's go back to the hurdle. And he goes up and over. And look at, that's how we all were. Jaws on the floor.
Reaction said it all. Flag down in the backfield. Pavia scrambling. And another flag thrown near midfield. Got a lot to figure out here.
There are 2 flags on the play. Holding, number 72, offense. Holding, number 7, defense. Those fouls offset. We'll replay second down. .6:25 to go, and
This Commodore team, been very impressive today.
They have. You know, Mark, it was interesting last week. Vanderbilt had a bye, and Miami jumped over the Commodores after beating NC State like a drum, to be quite honest with you. We had that game last week, and I got to tell you, Miami was very impressive. We've had them 3 times. I think consistency-wise, when you look at what this Vanderbilt team has done,
right?
Certainly against Auburn, when their defense plays like this, I mean, they are just as formidable as the Hurricanes. I'm not sure what the determining factor was, but the committee talks a lot about losses, and Vanderbilt's losses are certainly excusable when you look at them.
Sure, Stowers with the catch and run. And then you look at the fact, okay, what about North Carolina State, which was Miami's opponent last week, and how good is Kentucky? How do you compare those two and what the teams did respectively?
Good question. Equal records until NC State beat Florida State yesterday.
Pass complete to Alexander. Another first down for the Commodores.
But I think that the thing that you're looking at with Vandy, both of their losses on the road against ranked teams, the Texas loss, they were down big and climbed back into that one. So maybe the committee looks at it and says, Texas controlled that game for the majority of it, and they count that as a little bit more than a 1-score loss.
And that pass into the ground intentionally was the first incompletion in the last 13 throws for Pavia. He had completed 12 in a row before throwing it away. There's a look at the chance to make it to the college football playoff for Vanderbilt.
Still not great
to 23.
You know, Mark, before the season, if you had said there is an SEC team that goes 10-2, would they make the college football playoff? I think there would have been nearly 100% response that the answer is yes. Because of the way this season has worked out, Vanderbilt could be a 10-2 SEC team that gets left out. You wonder what the response would be if that happens.
Yeah, great point. And Stowers with the catch and run, got the first down, pushed out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Unbalanced schedules got me kind of sideways, though, because some 10-2s are different, right?
I think a lot of people have pointed to the 11-0 of Texas A&M and said, who have they played again?
Yeah.
Now, they had the Notre Dame win at the beginning of the season. That win's certainly a good one, as Notre Dame has looked like one of the best teams since then. But yeah, it's a factor.
Pavia brought down inside the 10 at the 9. Picked up 3 yards.
Well, Mark, the way we got to the unbalanced schedules was because of either greed or necessity.
Expanding conferences.
The expanding of the conferences. Some of it through full-on, let's make more money, greed. Some of it because of necessity. And the Pac-12 falling apart. It's how you get USC and UCLA in the Big Ten. It's how you get Stanford and Cal in the ACC. So but one of the side effects is unbalanced conference schedule.
Pavia out of the backfield, complete to Young, who's pushed out of bounds short of the first down. But in the immortal words of Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, greed is good.
Yeah.
Greed separates.
But greed ain't played nobody. Just like you.
Greed ain't on the schedule?
Just like your opponent. Yeah, greed doesn't help the 10-2 team make the college football playoff.
Hey, that wasn't in the movie, okay? I don't know. I can't speak on that. 31-3. 3.5 minutes to go. Commodores looking at a 3rd down and 4. They didn't get a first down without scoring a touchdown. And Pavia always a threat to run. Trips formation at the bottom of your screen. Takes it himself and scores it. Diego Pavia with another touchdown. And the beat goes on.
The guy who scored 11 touchdowns in the last 3 games, 4 of them today. And honestly, one of them that they scored today was a lateral. Could have been a forward pass had it been about a yard further forward. It was a lateral to Trey Richardson. This is a guy who's obviously knows his way around Broadway here in Nashville. Keeps going like this, he's going to learn his way around Broadway up there in New York.
Seat 2A, Diego Pavia. He is riding this wave like a do-rag. And leading the Commodores to a potential 9-2 season with one game to go after this.
Disney's Zootopia 2, rated PG, only in theaters Wednesday.
We're talking tender steak. We're talking cheesy. We're talking dipping in a dip-sized soup. Well, get a dip of that. Ciabatta dippers are back. It just feels good at Panera.
Welcome back, everyone, to Nashville. A look at downtown area, Broadway. One of the big music cities in the country.
Were you down there on Broadway yesterday?
Yeah, it took a little walk. I didn't get a chance to make it to the Country Music Museum or Hall of Fame here. But caught some of the vibes.
Had a time to find some hot chicken, though.
Yes.
Hey, Mark, back to this jacket. I mean, I'm up here, no jacket. Seth Jacobson, no jacket. Steve LeBeau, no jacket.
Hey, man.
It's 58 here in Nashville, 38 in your home country.
It's a cold, feels like. It's a cold 58, though. Try to stay warm, man. Blood's a little thin.
It's a moist cold.
There
so
it
makes
is.
it a little bit more chilly.
Gets in
hey
your
man,
boat,
whatever you
man.
got to do, whatever you got to do to stay hot.
Hey man, when I start needing cocoa butter on the hands, you know it's a little too cold outside. A little ashy, man.
Still classy though.
Yes, 38-3. Vanderbilt has looked classy on the field, dominating this game against Kentucky tonight. On the handoff, Dowdell with nowhere to go. Upended by Mark Davis. No gain on the play. It'll be second down and 10 to go.
They have been so aggressive, Vanderbilt has defensively, and Kentucky just had no answer as they try and get to the 6th win. You just saw the graphic, though. 87 yards of offense for Kentucky against the Vanderbilt defense that allowed 563 against Auburn the last time they were on the field. So the improvement that Vanderbilt made in that bye week, certainly tremendous, but Kentucky's really struggled.
Boley looking to pass. Incomplete behind his intended receiver, Caddis. And it'll be third down. Now, if you're Coach Stoops, Roddy, I want to ask you, when or if do you start looking big picture and the game next week against Louisville and that all-important 6th win to get to a bowl?
Yeah, I think you're going to let your guys play.
Okay.
And certainly until we get to the 4th quarter and Vanderbilt starts rotating some guys out, and then maybe you start to look at taking Cutter Boley out. But you need some rhythm. You need something to feel good about going into that rivalry game.
Third down and 10, blitz coming. Boley gets it out complete to McGowan. And McGowan pushed out of bounds far short of the first down by Capers. So 4th down coming up. And in comes the punt unit once again. That's been a popular refrain for the Wildcats.
You asked about exotic blitzes. This is one. You've got 6 guys around the line of scrimmage. These 2 guys drop. You get loopers this way and then a blitzer from the secondary. This is an exotic blitz because the offensive line real time has to sort out who's coming, who's not. The quarterback has to figure out where do I go with the football. All of that in mere moments. That's what you call exotic because it's not something you see every day, and it's something that really challenges your protection.
That blitz had a lot of seasoning is what you're telling me, right?
Maybe some hot honey seasoning.
There you go. Fair catch back at the 26-yard line by Height. It'll be 1st and 10 after that 45-yard punt. This is SEC Network's Week 14 rivalry week college football lineup. Friday night, 7:30 Eastern, they'll have Texas A&M, Texas Skycast presentation. And next Saturday's tripleheader starts with Clemson, South Carolina at noon Eastern. Then Arkansas hosts number 22, Missouri. And we kept the night with the Skycast version of Alabama and Auburn. All 4 games are also available on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere.
That Texas A&M game is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, there's been a lot of talk about their SEC schedule, how it hasn't been the toughest. It's been one of the weaker ones across the conference. But they have a chance to punch their ticket to Atlanta, and likely, if they don't win that game, do not make the SEC championship game, although they'd still make the college football playoff.
Marcel Reed has had a great year for them. Pavia the same for the Commodores. Complete at midfield and room to go for Sherrill. Brought down deep in Kentucky territory at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
It's been darts all night from Diego Pavia, but Junior Sherrill, nice little in route from the outside, catch and run after. And this has to be, Diego Pavia over 400 yards now. This has to be a stat-building drive for Diego Pavia.
That was 37, looking for a chunk here. Touchdown, what a catch by Hoskins. Another touchdown pass by Pavia to Richie Hoskins, one of the OGs here in the program. He was one of those 35 that bought into the vision of head coach Clark Lee. And a big-time catch there.
It's an incredibly athletic catch, but a couple of darts. Hoskins just going to go up the field right here. Diego Pavia delivers an absolute dart. It's a little high, though, and Richie Hoskins has to go up and snag it while taking contact from a couple of Kentucky defenders. But when things are going their way, they are going your way. And now, Diego Pavia, 448 yards of passing, and he knows it's cash money, baby. Cash money.
Oh, man. Giving off those Johnny Manziel vibes. Hoskins with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. Hoskins came in as a walk-on and has had a great career here at Vandy. Look at the numbers that he has put up over the last 3 games. 448, folks, and the meter is still running. Man, he's got enough to feed the needy today.
And it's not just the yardage, it's the completion percentage from all of it too. I mean, last week 75% completion percent, 75.8, excuse me. Today, 86% completion percentage so far against this Kentucky team.
Well, you talked about it being a stat-building drive. I guess he heard you, Roddy.
And now it's probably time to get him out of the game, but
1:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. Foley coming back out at quarterback.
Clark Lee, I wonder if Clark Lee's telling him, hey, look, man, this is going to be it. And he's at one more, coach, one more. You can see him, coach. I mean, I've got time. I can get one more.
They are so alike. Coach Lee saying he's just like me. On the receiver screen, complete to Fred Ferrier, the 2nd. Loss of 2 on the play.
This is that conversation just a minute ago. He throws up the 1.
One more, coach.
I mean,
no, you're done, son.
Coach,
you're done, son.
I know you want to do that. I got it. Gotcha. Duly noted. We need you next week for Tennessee.
On 2nd and 12, Foley throws a strike to the 28. Caddis with the catch and run. Got collared for 6 yards.
Mark, I do think that clip that we just showed with Clark Lee and Diego Pavia, I do think it gives you a little bit of insight. This is a guy that doesn't know, hey, look, we're up by a lot, let's ease up. Diego Pavia is not about that. Diego Pavia is about competition and continually proving that he is the guy, and continually proving his worth. That chip on his shoulder might as well be a boulder. Clark Lee likely telling him, no, that's enough for today.
I bet you he comes out. I'm betting on Pavia. Pass complete for the 1st down to Ferrier. And they move the chains, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. A comprehensive, complete dismantling of the Wildcats. Yeah, on ESPN. You're watching ESPN College Football presented by Chili's. Look downtown on Broadway. And Diego Pavia perhaps has a trip to Broadway in his future, the one in New York, Manhattan. And the Heisman ceremony certainly put up the requisite numbers today and has all season. Boy, what a catch by Willie Rodriguez in rush hour traffic. To be able to hang on is quite the feat. Carter delivered a blow.
Yes, it was. They haven't been able to get to those tight ends much today. Willie Rodriguez, the leader of that bunch, leading receiver. Great catch by the tight end.
Picked up 12. They keep it on the ground on 1st and 10. Gain of 7 by Seth McGowan.
Seth McGowan on the carry. Been there by number 20, Chris Holloway.
Kentucky going some tempo, trying to get some momentum offensively. Cutter Boley talked to us about how much he likes their tempo package.
Hands it off to McGowan again, and McGowan's going to pick up the first down. It was interesting to tell you something about this young man that seems to have a lock on the quarterback position moving forward. Last year against Florida, in his first action, didn't go so well. Went 0 for 6, threw an interception. In the aftermath, his teammates were trying to console him as he throws incomplete there, and he said, hey, listen, I'm all good. I'm going to be great. And amongst his skill set, maybe the most important one that he has is his poise. Never seems to get too rattled. And certainly they tested his toughness and temerity today. Took that shot, that awkward neck blow, and came back into the ball game.
Toughness on full display. He's the quarterback of the future here at Kentucky. Needs some development, some seasoning, especially against defenses as exotic as this Vanderbilt team has been today.
On the quick out, complete at the 35 to his receiver. Hester still on his feet. Hester down the sidelines. Touchdown, Wildcats!
Pass complete to number 4, J.J. Hester. Touchdown, Kentucky.
Wow, they slept on Hester, and he made them pay.
Keanu Coote has a great opportunity to bring down J.J. Hester for a minimal gain, but it's the missed tackle that causes it. The defensive end drops out, and he's got Hester in his grasp. But Hester with the spin move, blocked down the sideline by Kendrick Law, and J.J. Hester trots into the end zone for a Kentucky offense that has needed explosiveness all night.
That's Hester's 4th touchdown catch of the season and the 7th of his career. And for Boley, that's the 14th touchdown pass of the year for him. So just as we were talking about his skill set, it pays dividends with the touchdown pass, catch, and run for Coach Stoops and the Wildcats. With a daunting hill to climb when we come back.
Putting it to work across campus. A campus right now, Mark, that's having kind of a renaissance in terms of their athletic programs.
Yeah, you love to see it. You love to see it, Q. Under Vandy Athletic Director Candace Story-Lee. Flag down. Richardson, with nothing but real estate in front of him, takes it all the way back for a touchdown. We'll see if it stands. 99 yards in all. And I think they know the outcome of this flag. Boy, Richardson has really shown us something today.
Trey Richardson's been awesome. Fortunately, I think this one's coming back. It looks like the first one was in the vicinity of a hold. The second one, they might get a Kentucky player for an unsportsmanlike conduct or an unnecessary roughing. Unnecessary roughness, excuse me.
Hope to get the call here soon.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. During the return, holding number 31 of the receiving team, personal foul number 19 of the kicking team. The fouls are going to offset. We'll re-kick.
All right, so we get a remix here. Do it all again.
Diego Pavia looks like he's about to come back out on the field.
Yeah, I was betting on that. Coach wasn't going to not let him spin at least one more time. They're going to have to take his helmet away and his shoulder pads. Q had a good point a moment ago about the sports programs here at Vanderbilt University. Candace Story-Lee, the athletic director, doing a great job of stewarding these programs right now.
He really is. You and Q talked about it. The investment in this football program, the investment to go, and the vision to go and get Clark Lee. Yep. Obviously the investment in the roster to not only attract but retain the talent that they had off of last year's team, add to it as well. It's been tremendous by Candace Story-Lee across the campus, but certainly here in football as well.
So we're going to do it again, and this time Richardson won't get an opportunity to return the kick. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And Diego Pavia coming out for another series here with his team firmly in control. 45-10, under 13 and a half minutes to go.
I would imagine at some point the coaches are telling Diego Pavia, hey man, be smart here. Don't be a hero. Go and get your stats. You've already got a game with the most pass yards by a quarterback in the SEC this season. You don't need to add to it too much more. Don't do anything crazy.
You know that won't work, Roddy.
Yeah, I know.
That guy is stuck on 100. Completes the pass to Sherrill. Still on his feet, pushed out of bounds at the 46. More yards, another completion, and another first down. A 21-yard pickup for the Commodores. And he just set a school record with that completion. 469 yards, folks, and the meter is still running.
He's almost got as many touchdowns as incompletions. This is a guy who has not thrown back-to-back incompletions the entire day.
They have been extremely impressive. On the cusp of 9-2. Pavia tipped up, tip drill, and a blemish on his sheet right there. Ty Bryant with the interception on the typical tip drill off of Sherrill's hands. And there's a flag on the play. A lugubrious look on Coach Stoops' face. And you'd expect that with his team down by 35.
After the interception, personal foul on the return team, number 35. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the dead ball spot. It'll be first down for Kentucky.
Coaches, Mount Stoops about to erupt there, it looked like, for a minute.
His team has been chippy all day long, but the personal fouls costing him.
Sometimes even when you win, you lose. But that guy's winning. Back after this.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's. Now serves
treatment of migraine with or without aura in adults. Nurtec ODT can provide relief in 2 hours, which can last up to 2 days. Don't take if allergic to Nurtec ODT. Allergic reactions can occur even days after use. Get help right away for trouble breathing, rash, swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or throat. High blood pressure and Raynaud's syndrome can occur. Get help for high blood pressure, numbness, coolness, pain, or color changes in fingers and toes. Common side effect is nausea. Ask your doctor about Nurtec ODT.
ESPN College Football is presented by Chili's 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat.
Well, earlier in the game, Mark used the word lugubrious. I thought you were talking about something that you eat, like a legume. Unfortunately for me, it's something that is looking or sounding sad and dismal. A lot of lugubrious looks on the countenance of the Kentucky fan.
There it is. There it is, Roddy. You got it. You got it, bro.
Thought you were going to tell me we were going to eat something over there.
Good look down there on Broadway in Nashville. That pass incomplete. Not a good look for Seth McGowan. I'll tell you what, man. Vanderbilt's football program could easily sell the city of Nashville.
Oh, absolutely.
To prospects, right? You got a great metropolitan area with a lot going on. It's one of the fastest growing areas in the country. One of the, coolest metropolitan areas.
Not to mention an incredible degree that you get from Vanderbilt.
That pass, great catch by the tight end Willie Rodriguez, who's made several of those here today. As night has fallen, he picked up 20.
They couldn't get him involved early, but you said a couple of highlight-worthy catches by Willie Rodriguez as the game has gone on in the second half.
They keep it on the ground with McGowan. McGowan is stopped up after a gain of about 2. I'll tell you, one of the great things about Nashville is all the music. There's music on every corner in this city.
Hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Well, Dierks Bentley was here pre-game.
Yeah.
Absolute country music stars, of course, live here and often appear.
One of the great vibes, and I'll tell you what, Boley finding his vibe right now. Hits Rodriguez again.
Cacophony, Mark. It's a cacophony when you walk on Broadway. Cacophony, folks.
I like that. Hey, let's look that one up, guys.
I was going to say we're going to have to get a graphic for that one as well.
Keeping up with the cues now. Cacophony. They fake the receiver screen, backside pressure. Boley escaping some smoke and finds his receiver Law. Not the way they drew it up, but they'll take it anyway. Law still on his feet, looking for some blocks. A whole lot of action in a gain of 4.
It's the most exciting 4-yard gain we've had all year.
It sure was.
A near sack turned into a cross-field throw, resulted in a cutback over the middle.
Sets up 2nd down and 6. Between the tackles, McGowan. Setting up a 3rd down and about 3.
This was the last play.
Wow.
Gets away from Corday Sidnor and then ends up finding Kendrick Law, who makes a couple of guys miss. Eventually Vanderbilt rallies to bring him down. This Kentucky team has not quit. You got to give them a lot of credit for that. They've shown some fight. Some of it during the whistles, between the whistles.
Yeah, they haven't let go of the rope. Look at the numbers on Boley here in the second half. Remember, he missed a few plays, a couple of series after suffering that neck injury. We have a player down on the field. That's Seabrooks. We'll be back after this.
Formula One is not following the script.
The Las Vegas Grand Prix tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Matt Berry in our college football studio. How big is this one in prime time? Haynes King and Georgia Tech taking on Pitt. One other ACC score to pass along. Notre Dame 70, Syracuse 7.
On 3rd and 3, pressure coming, and Boley got rid of it. And there's a receiver in the neighborhood, so that's not going to be grounding. Rinaldi with good pressure, joined by Stone. 4th and 3 coming up. And Steve Gregory right there has been dialing up almost the perfect defense.
Then another one of those exotic blitzes. They drop a player to the field. They bring 3 defenders from the boundary and force the incompletion for Cutter Boley. What does Steve Gregory dial up here? He's used just about everybody on that defense to rush the passer at some point in time. What if he pulls Pavia out? What's in blitz?
Boley over the middle, complete. Enough for the first down. He found Gilmore. And it'll be 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line for the Wildcats. He got 8. Enough to move the chains.
Right in the face of pressure. Delivers that ball accurately. Does Cutter Boley. Nick Rinaldi had a free run at the quarterback, but Boley dissected it, knew where to go with the football, and delivered it accurately. Nice job by the freshman.
1st and goal. Patterson in the backfield. Into the end zone, picked off! And a lot of room. 1 man to beat. Height brought down at the 38. Martel Height with the INT.
Martel Height just does a nice job of breaking on the football, but Cutter Boley, you have to throw that the first time. You can't pump and then throw it. That is a timing route that you have to let go right away and trust it. Leaves the ball a little inside as well because of the hesitation.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 3 on the intercepting team. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced at the dead ball spot. It will be Vanderbilt ball. That is the first unsportsmanlike foul for that player.
How many unsportsmanlike conducts have we seen today?
I've kind of lost count. We see some chippy activity going on. So let's see if Pavia comes out again. He will come out as he continues to add to the yardage that is already a record in the Vanderbilt passing books.
I wonder if this is just to give Diego Pavia sort of his day in the sun. Let him go out on the field, hand the ball off, and then maybe call a timeout, take him out of the game, let him get his celebration in his last game at First Bank Stadium.
What a great story.
You got some guys in the offensive line that aren't starters out there, so I do wonder, especially with the backups in on the offensive line, if they're actually going to let Pavia sling it, or is this just going to be, it's an opportunity to cheer him off the field.
Berlowitz is going to come in for Pavia, showing love to the fans here. And that sentiment reciprocated.
Really cool moment for Clark Lea to let Diego Pavia, let this crowd celebrate Diego Pavia, let Diego Pavia show his love to that crowd. You saw the day, but what he means to this Vanderbilt program for its present and its future cannot be overstated. It will change the face of Vanderbilt football.
Pass complete to Brown. Brown out to the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Under 9.5 minutes to go, a pickup of 18 on the play. Plays Berlowitz. And at quarterback, and look at the last 3 games, 32 of 38. 5 touchdown passes today.
He may throw the ball so well, he's going to throw himself into the Heisman Trophy conversation even more so than he already is. You're going to look up at the end of the season and say, Diego Pavia did what? I mean, certainly he needs some votes.
Facts. That's Eli Stowers, his roommate. Let's take a look at tonight's playbook, brought to you by Fly House. Trey Richardson had himself a great afternoon as well, not to be outdone.
Yes, he did. His speed was on full display. This a dime drop by Diego Pavia, but he's behind the defense, a place that was very familiar to him through the course of the game. A one-on-one, the first touchdown. see the absolute jets. And then this one was a lateral. Doesn't count on the scoreline of Diego Pavia. Had it been a little bit more forward, it would have gone down as a touchdown pass. But Trey Richardson, back-to-back 100-yard receiving games, as he had 124 on 3 catches last time out against Auburn.
Crazy day of production, 144 yards in all. Berlowitz running it himself to pick up the first down. Under 8 minutes to play. Let's look at some of the games that Commodore Nation are keeping an eye on. That Kansas State-Utah game looming large.
Third quarter there, Kansas State just went up by 3. That game's been back and forth. And you look at that, if you're Vanderbilt, a loss by Utah, you could inch up a spot to 13. You look at BYU playing later today against Cincinnati on the road. That one could certainly go their way. And Vanderbilt certainly is going to be rooting for Cincinnati a little bit later on.
Lassiter trying to get to the corner. Tackled out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain. And there's a look at Trey Richardson, former JUCO All-American at Hutchinson Community College in Kansas.
Holding, number 56, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
We'll bring this one back with 7:18 to play. Big one next week for the Vanderbilt Commodores, taking on Tennessee in Knoxville. Part of the great weekend of Thanksgiving football that we have on ESPN and ABC coming up. I'm going to get my Thanksgiving in a little bit early, partner. Are you? I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Go.
Do it tomorrow. Get a chance to get with the family. Berlowitz trying to eat. Completes it downfield. Nice catch by Cole Spence, the tight end. Big target at 6'7". You could almost hear him saying, Roddy, I got a little one. Got a little one here.
The value that he brings to this offense cannot be overstated. And he did. Cam Olds isn't little either.
Right.
6'4". But when you're 6'7", just throw the ball up, let him go get it.
He should have. I was expecting him to give him the too little sign after he kind of posted him up and made that catch. And 6'7's, I mean, 6'7's tall. 6'4". Could have given him a little bit of this.
He could have. I mean, look,
6'4 is tall.
You are never going to see me do this to about a 6'4 guy. Need a box, probably 2 boxes to get up that high. But I mean, Cole Spence, what he does in the blocking game, what he does in the pass game. I've got you on the 6'7 train though. Now.
Yeah, you got me on the 6'7. I missed my cue right there, but
all right. It certainly is.
Tell me more about this 6'7 stuff, because your kids are a little younger than mine.
I don't know. I have no idea what it means.
I'm not on TikTok.
Neither am I. Okay. But my elementary schoolers have come home saying it, and I've seen all the kids are saying it. So, you know, it's just a thing. I don't know what it means.
Well, Cole Spence from now on will be Mr. 6'7", because he's 6'7" from Roswell, Georgia. Not too far from you, right?
That's right down the road.
Yeah.
6'7". We told you.
6'7".
Just facts.
Cold. It's a cold world. Yeah, great visit with him yesterday.
He's got great energy.
Yes. Listen to some of the old school Kanye music for warm-ups. And all of the lights were on him on that last reception. That pass complete to Barnett. Interesting that Cole Spence told us he was a wrestler to begin his high school athletic career.
It's the answer to the trivia question, what do Quint Kesnick and Cole Spence have in common?
There you go.
Certainly not height.
Not 6'7".
The wrestling. Yeah. Diego Pavia, also a wrestler.
Diego told me the single leg takedown was his go-to move up there.
Yeah,
right,
Diego was state champion in New Mexico, wrestled about 190-ish senior year. Said he used to bump up to 225 to wrestle the big boys because his team needed him up there. I would not mess with him. But wrestling is a great carryover sport for football players, for leverage, for hand strength, for balance, for toughness. But it welcomes all shapes and sizes also. Like I cover NCAA wrestling. You'll see tall, skinny guys. You'll see short, squatty guys. You wrestle according to your physique. Both you guys would be outstanding wrestlers.
Oh, heck no.
Q, you are very
Jonesy,
generous in that.
you'd be a cradle guy with your length.
No, man, I'm trying to keep the product intact.
Q, it's 57 degrees and he's in a winter coat.
Well, we do have a wrestler on our crew, a college wrestler, Demo, Michigan State, the Spartans.
Legend.
You talk about toughness, those college wrestlers, man.
Yes.
Top, front of the line, Demo.
Not into going into the sauna and losing 10 pounds in 10 minutes, though.
With the garbage bags on. Yeah. Well, you got to cut. You got to make weight.
Otavia, great athlete, as is Cole Spence, his tight end. They're going to review that last play with 5:25 to go. Targeting or not? Crown of the helmet.
It is certainly lowers the head. Looks like crown of the helmet from that back view. Jerry, is the back view enough that we're seeing enough to confirm all aspects of targeting?
It's tough to tell where he's hitting, but he's not seeing what he is hitting. He's dipping his head. So that's an indication that it is targeting.
Yeah,
the runner's helmet definitely shoots off to the right from the backside look. So,
but, Jerry, I want to talk about that what is determined as the crown of the helmet. Can you define that for us? Because he does turn his head just slightly, and with all aspects of targeting needing to be confirmed, what do you think about does this rise to the level of crown of the helmet?
He may have, you're absolutely right. He may have lucked out with being the side of the helmet as opposed to the crown, the top of the helmet, that 6-inch radius. But they're really putting this under a microscope. So if they're looking at it this long, they may not have enough to toss the kid.
I agree, Jerry.
That's Dylan Williams, yeah.
I feel like that should be targeting, and yet I don't think you can confirm that it was that 6-inch radius from the top of the head. It might have been 6.5 inches.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you can confirm that it was that. This is going to be a tough one.
Remember, they need all the bodies they can afford. There's a look at the targeting rule, but Kentucky's already limited defensively personnel-wise with some key injuries, and Williams getting a lot of action today, the freshman.
After review, there is a personal foul targeting using the crown of the helmet, number 13 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty correction, half the distance to the goal. Number 13 for the defense is disqualified.
So he'll miss the first half of next week's game against Louisville, trying to become bowl eligible.
And again, was it the 6-inch radius from the top? I think it was close enough, Jerry. I mean, but it's close enough to put a targeting on. I guess it was for them.
Well, exactly. I see it. I feel like it was targeting, but do I have indisputable video evidence that it is? I don't. I don't see it as clear and obvious.
Yeah. It is big, though. I mean, he's going to miss the first half of the Louisville game, and with the depth issues that Kentucky's had in the secondary, could be a factor next.
Yeah, Waller's out, Addison's out, Lovett's out, Jansen Dunn out. Third down and 6. Lassiter, nowhere to go. That's a 4th down.
Vanderbilt brings big bodies on the field. It's only 2nd down. The targeting resulted in the first down. Yeah, we were a little off there, but
2nd and 11 coming up.
You know, this Vanderbilt team, spinning it forward a little bit, 9 wins in the regular season for the first time. What did the graphic say, 1915?
Yeah.
Going to have an opportunity to beat Tennessee next week on the road. They have not beaten Tennessee since 2018.
Out of the backfield, complete. Debbie Emmanuel Adebayo with the catch. One of those seniors that walked today. With his first undefeated home season since 1982. They're checking a lot of boxes in the record books this season.
Yes, they are. And this has been a special group for Clark Lea. I was so impressed at the attention that he commands from his team. And you see head coaches across the country speak in front of their teams, and guys can be locked in. There's often a, hey, we have to listen to this authority figure type feel. It feels like his team is hanging on every word that he says.
Big time. Brillowitz pushed out of bounds at about the 9-yard line.
We were listening to talk to his team about a number of different things today. One of the things he said that stood out to me that his team has certainly done was, we need to get to our technique faster than the opponent. That's okay. He pointed out that's something that has nothing to do with Kentucky. We can control it. Get to our technique faster than what the opponent does, and the team has done that today.
And then some. With under 3 minutes to go. Brillowitz surveys, pulls, incomplete in the end zone, and the Wildcats will take over on downs as the defense gets a rare win on that sequence. Let's check in with the studio.
All right, gentlemen, astute adjudication of tonight's football game. Mason Heinschel, true freshman, is kind of giving Pitt a little bit of fire since he became the starting quarterback. Roddy, get me set for your alma mater, Pitt, Georgia Tech, huge one of the ACC.
And don't forget Georgia. What do you make of the Georgia Tech Pitt game?
Big game.
The Fighting Roddy Jones.
No, the Fighting Brent Keys.
Okay.
Georgia Tech, if they win, they're in the ACC championship game. That is their path to the college football playoff. Pitt still with a chance, coming off of a defeat to a Notre Dame team who just laid about 1 billion points on Syracuse today.
They're still going, right? Are they?
It's a great question. I had to look away.
Yeah.
Lest to get any worse. But Georgia Tech it's going to be interesting to see, can that defense stop Pitt's offense? Because the Georgia Tech defense the past couple of weeks has not been very good against Boston College and NC State.
I tell you what, I've been impressed all season by Haynes King. His ability to steward that offense and have them as successful as they've been, and with some timely wins and timely plays, as we check in with the studio one more time.
All right, gentlemen, if you want to see the end of this game, we're going to move it over to ESPNU. Coming up next, we got the big one of the ACC. We've been talking about it all day. What's it going to take to get to the ACC championship? Georgia Tech Pitt coming up here in primetime on ESPN. Again, if you want to watch the end of the game that was just on a moment ago, Vanderbilt and Kentucky, we're going to move it over to ESPNU. But for now, we're going to get to start to a massive one in ACC. We'll see you guys at the half.
Thank you, Matt. ESPN College Football.